James Twin for the untouchable true school sports. Let's go, baby. Bow!
Be careful what you wish for because it can become a reality.
Yeah. The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing games are missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT. I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. All right, so this is my official Stephen Fulton versus Brandon Figueroa breakdown video. I know this is a fight that a lot of us here are excited about. Many of us on this channel, myself included, I'm a Naya Inoue fan. I'm an Angelo Leo fan. So if you're fans of either one of those two fighters, this is a fight that concerns you. You're paying attention to this fight. If you're a fan of the featherweight division, you're paying attention to this fight. If you're a fan of just boxing in general and you like rivalry fights, you're paying attention to this fight. So for me, Benavidez Morel is an amazing fight, but this is the fight on the card for me. So let's talk about it, because the narratives that I've been hearing about Figueroa versus Fulton at featherweight are the fact that, you know, a lot of people feel Brandon Figueroa was robbed in the first fight. So if you feel that Brandon Figueroa was robbed in the first fight and they're fighting at a higher weight class and you're looking at Stephen Fulton getting dropped against Carlos Castro and having some nervy moments, then you're going to look at this fight as a fight where Brandon Figueroa should absolutely beat the shit out of Stephen Fulton. If you're a Stephen Fulton fan, you're looking at this fight as like, well, look, Stephen Fulton beat Brandon once. Why can't he beat him again? You know, that type of thing. So let's start off with like the strengths and weaknesses of both fighters and what both guys could like capitalize and exploit. I'll start with Brandon Figueroa because he's the favorite. I believe he's like a 3-1 favorite. Brandon Figueroa's strengths are his size and his volume. You know, that's the real reason why Brandon Figueroa is one of the top featherweights in boxing today. That's why he's been champion. That's why I beat a guy like Mark Magsayo and stopped Louis Neri in 6 rounds, in like, what was it, 7 rounds or 6 rounds or whatever it was. You know, Brandon Figueroa beats guys because of his size and his volume. He's not beating these guys because of his skills. He's not beating these guys because he has this like world-class, otherworldly jab. No, he's a big physical fighter, and he knows how to impose himself on the fight. And he had a lot of success doing that against Stephen Fulton in the first fight. He had him hurt multiple times. Couldn't drop him, but had him hurt multiple times. And I just think, yeah, his strength is his size and his volume. His weakness is that, and I always hear everybody talk about how great he is as a fighter, and they paint this picture like he's Julio Cesar Chavez, but Brandon Figueroa's biggest weakness, in my opinion, and it's why he lost the Stephen Fulton fight. I think if he had this one thing going for him, he would have actually stopped Stephen Fulton. But he doesn't have this going for him, and he's never really gotten this corrected or improved. He's not an elite fighter when it comes to throwing straight punches. So the punches that Brandon Figueroa knocks people out with are normally hooks and uppercuts. You know, look at when he stopped Carlos Castro and Neri. Those were uppercuts he placed to the body. He's not a guy that knocks you out with a straight left hand. You know, that's not his thing. So if he had straight punches, I think he'd beat Stephen Fulton pretty easily, actually, because Stephen Fulton has shown at every stage in his career that he is susceptible to straight right hands or straight left hands, in this case, down the middle. But Brandon does not have an elite straight left hand. So Brandon has to rely on work rate and volume and size to overwhelm Stephen Fulton and either break him down or outwork him to a decision. You know, so I don't think he's going to stop Stephen Fulton in the rematch. But who knows? Maybe he will. Listen, I said Robeisy Ramirez beat Rafael Espinoza in the rematch, so, you know, shit. I can get it wrong. But I think that those are his strengths, those are weaknesses. That's what he has to work with, right? So going to the other side. Now we're going to go to Stephen Fulton. Stephen Fulton, his strengths in this fight, I think, is that he's the more adaptable fighter, you know. I'm not going to classify Stephen Fulton as a slick fighter, because I feel like because he's black, people just say he's slick, but he's not a slick fighter. Stephen Fulton is not a slick fighter, nor has he ever been a slick fighter. But he can box on the outside, and he can fight in the pocket. Those are two things he can do, but he's not necessarily a slick fighter, you know. So I just think he's the more adaptable fighter. And I think if Brandon Figueroa gets to a stage in this fight where he can't impose his size the way he thinks, then Stephen Fulton winds up being a fighter that he has more paths to victory against Brandon, right? And when he fought Castro, a lot was made of the knockdown, but I thought he responded very well, and it was a flash knockdown. It was a flash knockdown. He got up, he showed composure, he got up, and then he won the fight pretty clearly. One thing I like about Stephen Fulton in that fight was the fact that he was throwing punches with bad intentions. Now, Stephen Fulton is not a big puncher. He's not. But he's going to be able to retain more of his strength and more of his energy being at featherweight. And if you look at the Castro fight, he was able to back Castro up in the back half of that fight due to the punches he was throwing with bad intentions, trying to hurt this guy. So I think that could actually, it could be a disadvantage, but I look at it as an advantage, because if Brandon Figueroa doesn't have the physicality to hurt Stephen Fulton, then Stephen Fulton will have the ability to, make this fight look different. And Fulton has compared this fight a lot to Mayweather versus Maidana, in the sense of like the more skilled boxer had a close fight with the more rugged fighter, but in the rematch, the boxer against the swarmer made the rematch a lot easier, right? So I can see where he's coming from. It may be a fight where he has to make it look ugly, and maybe he might have to do a lot of holding down the stretch. I don't know, but I just think when it comes down to it, you got a Stephen Fulton who has the odds against him. You have a Stephen Fulton that is really just being written off by everyone. Everyone's been talking shit about him since the Inoue loss. And now I think his back's against the wall. And one thing about Fulton, apart from the Inoue fight, he's always shown in his career that when people question him winning a fight, that's when he normally fights his best, apart from the Inoue. So that being said, I think we're going to get the best Stephen Fulton we could possibly get in this fight. And vice versa. I think we'll get the best Brandon Figueroa we got this fight. Another underrated highlight and aspect of this fight that nobody's talking about is that there's been a lot made of the fact that Stephen Fulton hasn't fought a whole lot since the Inoue fight. And that is true, and I agree with that. I think he should have probably been a little more active. But for all the talk of Stephen Fulton's inactivity, people are not keeping that same energy for Brandon Figueroa. Brandon Figueroa hasn't fought since, what is it? I think he fought once last year against Jesse Magdaleno. But, come on. That was... Magdaleno's a former champion. I give him his respect. But, he's a little faded. I think he was a little faded. He wasn't the Magdaleno that won the title back in the day. This is really Brandon Figueroa's first big fight since the Mark Magsayo fight. And that was, I believe, in March of 2023. So, Fulton's been in the bigger fight recently than Brandon Figueroa. And they both have boxed around the same amount of times, So that being said, I think ring rust and inactivity is actually in play here for both fighters, and I think that that's what kind of makes it intriguing for me when I break down the fight. And I don't want to make a prediction, because the last time I did a rematch, I got it horribly wrong. And listen, this is not a gambling channel, so don't have your own opinions. Don't go off what I say. But I don't like betting against Stephen Fulton. I've only picked against Stephen Fulton twice. And I'm one for two. I was right when he fought Inoue. I was wrong when he fought Angelo. I don't like picking against him. I think he's gonna deliver a really good performance. And I think this will be I think Stephen Fulton's gonna beat Brandon Figueroa. I think he just has more paths to victory, and I think Brandon Figueroa's inability to throw straight punches at an elite level, like he doesn't have a straight left hand. That could really trouble Stephen Fulton. Everything is looping shots, hooks, uppercuts. That's not going to get it done against Stephen Fulton. And if he's going to rely on his size and his volume alone to beat Stephen Fulton, listen, it didn't work the first time. I don't think it works in a rematch where Fulton will be more hydrated and be able to retain more of his strength. So my prediction for the fight is Stephen Fulton in a very close decision. Again, I'm going to say Stephen Fulton by... split decision. Oh, no. We won't go split. We'll go Stephen Fulton in a close but clear 115, 113 type of decision. And I think he becomes a two-division champion. And I think it winds up setting up the rematch that I really want to see, which is him against Angelo Leo. So, yeah, I'll go with Stephen Fulton. I think it's... I just think Brandon Figueroa's inability to throw a straight punch, to throw a straight left hand at an elite level is going to really hurt him in this fight. And Stephen Fulton is going to have enough adjustments and strength and these kind of things to find a way to win. So, Stephen Fulton by UD. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. What do you guys think about the fight? Is there anybody picking Stephen Fulton like me? You're picking Brandon Figueroa? Let me know all your reasons why. And yeah, I'll definitely read those comments. And yeah, leave your comments down below. Make sure you guys Take the time to subscribe, and like I say in every single one of these videos, you could love me or you could hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. For more great boxing content just like this, make sure you guys click right over here.
Keep watching my boy BT put on the best interviews out here.